Are you ready to get your health back but feel overwhelmed by the endless healthcare options? We believe God has called each of us to a specific assignment, and we want to make sure your body, mind, and heart are up for the task. It's time to simplify the process of healing. At Cornerstone Integrative Healing, we offer simple, effective, easy ways to prioritize your health and gain understanding. No prescription pad needed. I'm Kari, a pharmacist turned integrative health practitioner. I'm so excited to have these conversations around topics with my friend, Jenn.
Hi there, I'm Jenn, and together with our team at Cornerstone Integrative Healing, we offer an alternative to traditional healthcare, combining our expertise and experience in the medical field with our knowledge and faith to break the cycles of guessing what's wrong. We know the road to healing, feeling good again, can be overwhelming. You can expect honest conversations around the ups and downs of healing. The truth is, there are so many layers to healing. Because we've taken the time to learn where true healing comes from, we've learned how to help other women to discover a different way of caring for themselves. Join us every week for new episodes as we discuss topics that are personal and pertinent to your healing journey. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Jenn and Kari here. So excited for this episode. This is something that we get asked about quite a bit. I know I get texts almost daily asking on this topic. And so we thought it would be a good podcast episode to talk about some of the foundational categories to support your kids and your family naturally. So we're calling it the natural medicine cabinet, so to say.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that we can give you our go-tos that are tried and true, that we have both used really successfully for our kids, for ourselves, for our families, to help prevent things, to keep us healthy, and to, things like travel. If you're traveling, what should you bring with you to keep your family healthy? So we thought we would just jump right in and give you some of the basics. And so we'll try to break this down into categories so that it's a little bit helpful. But Kari, do you just want to talk about some of the oils that you have used that are your tried and true for your kids and family?
Yeah, when I was thinking about what would be helpful and what I've gotten questions about most, I feel like a lot of times moms want to do things like the more natural way, but they just don't have on hand what they need first. And then also they might not know how to use it, even if they do have it on hand. So we just wanted to give you here's what we would suggest to have on hand, even if you want to build your medicine cabinet over, months or even years, right? Like what should you be buying to have on hand so that whenever these things come up, you have what you need and you know how to use it. That was kind of our goal with today's podcast. But, of course, we believe that, and this might be a whole other podcast episode and probably needs to be this is built on a firm foundation of nutrition that, eating correctly and having enough protein and having enough whole foods so that your body has that fuel to work with, right? But 13 years ago, I started out with a little collection of oils that I still use a ton for a lot of these different things. So I wanted to speak on maybe the top 10 oils I would recommend, and then I'll give, the top 3, of course, that if you are just starting out, what I would have. But the top 10 oils, and this is just kind of like Dr. Mom collection that it was actually called in the very beginning. These oils are lemon, lavender, peppermint, on guard, frankincense, tea tree, oregano, digestin, breathe, and deep blue. So those are just kind of the main oils that you can use for a variety of different things that I still, of course, use 13 years later all the time.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to start with nervous system and sleep? I know for a lot of parents, excuse me, sorry about that. A lot of parents struggle with sleep with kids, which, it's a challenging subject, right? We all, as babies and infants, you fight with a schedule versus not a schedule, especially if you have older kids. But it's really about supporting the nervous system and supporting sleep naturally. So making sure that the kids, are basically have the right minerals, have the right basic support, as Kari said, but also things to enhance just calming effects.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe you can share what supplements you would have on hand too, in just a second, because I think it's important to we'll give you this list in the show notes. This is you can see what you have and see what you want to add to your natural medicine cabinet. But yeah, we can definitely jump into nervous system support and sleep, which is obviously huge, right? It helps everything else. It helps on a daily basis, and even when you're not feeling well, to get that deep, restful sleep. As far as oils, what I would recommend, obviously, first and foremost, would be lavender. Super calming. I like to use it as an adult, sometimes all three ways, which would be in a diffuser by my bedside table or on my bedside table, on the bottom of my feet, and then sometimes I'll put a couple drops under my tongue or take it internally. Um,
Can the
kids can
kids take the lavender internally?
they can, yeah. I mean, it's not gonna taste good at all. They
Right.
actually make something called Serenity soft gels that I would probably use over just a drop of lavender, but again, if we're talking about these top 10 oils, I wanted to give you a solution there, but usually topically and aromatically work very, very well, and
Sure.
if you are putting them on topically, you wanna make sure you get it over your entire foot, because there's different points, that relate to, different areas of your body. So you want to cover the entire foot with a couple of drops of lavender. So you might need to use some lotion or something like that. But very effective for restful sleep. And just it basically, like, what I've noticed is it helps calm those thoughts that sometimes are just kind of going, even for kids too, of course. And it just helps your body to relax. And the more that you use it, the more consistently you use it, your body will respond better, because it's familiar. It's like building a muscle memory.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about oils, and I know this is for kids too, but they have a stick,
Oh, the
at
Serenity stick?
yeah, the Serenity stick that I
Yeah,
have.
I really like that too.
Yes, that would be great for kids, right?
Yes, definitely, for
Yeah,
sure.
I know we're trying to keep it simple, but, it
Yeah,
smells
that would be sometimes those are convenience products that
right.
that you just mentioned, right? The Serenity soft gels, the Serenity stick, but
Right, put a drop
I
of it
think
in
they're
there.
worth it, but again, if you're just starting out and you wanna just, get a whole collection that's gonna do a lot for you, that's what I was trying to convey
Absolutely,
with this. Yeah.
absolutely. So I would say as far as nervous system and sleep support, electrolytes are probably your number one thing. So for kids, it's probably just making sure their foods are salted and they're getting fruit throughout the day. So a source of potassium, a source of sodium, would be great for kids. They can do the homemade adrenal cocktails, which is sea salt, coconut water, and OJ. Um, but I think for most kids, they're probably getting it through their diet if they're getting fruit and you're cooking with a good sea salt. The other thing is Mintran. I have used this over and over with my kids. It's a combination of alkaline ash minerals. It's a kelp-based product with calcium. And it's amazing for relaxing the nervous system and preparing it for sleep. So it can easily be crushed and added to any food at dinner or snack before bed.
Yeah. Also, Epsom salt baths can be really, really helpful. You can add oils to that as well. Especially for little kids, obviously they're taking baths. Maybe older kids might take showers, but adding a couple drops of that lavender to the Epsom salt before you put it in the bath water can be really helpful before
Mm,
bed.
sounds amazing.
I know. I'm like, sign me up for sure.
um, okay, so immune support. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Maybe we could break it down for preventative, and I can go with the nutrition, and then because there's an acute nutrition and a
Yeah.
preventative, and then Kari, I don't know if you can break down the oils that way, but
Yeah.
um, so I would say for prevention, one of the best things that you can use is um, Chondroplex. It's actually a chewable. It's a cherry flavored, so you can use that you can use it for acute or chronic. It's just easy for kids because it already comes in a chewable, and it's an easy go-to. So, a sibling is sick, someone in the household is sick, and they don't want to get sick. They can easily do chewable Chondroplex, 3 twice a day, depending on age. Um, and it's a great preventative. Again, getting off sugar, all the other things, nutrition wise that you would need to do to prevent. Um, And then is there something preventative oil-wise?
Yeah, sure. So On Guard probably would be the thing that I would tend to suggest. I have for years added On Guard to a roller bottle with some coconut oil to kind of dilute it. It's a little bit spicy. So you could just put that up and down your kid's spine before they go to school or either before bed. You could do both. But definitely I like to do it before they go to school just because they're going to come in contact with germs and it's going to help their immune system, work a little bit better that way. Also frankincense would be a good one as well. It's very anti-inflammatory and it does help the immune system too.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So then the first signs of illness. So nutrition-wise, you can definitely still use Contraplex. That's your go-to if you only have access to the Contraplex, especially if they don't swallow tablets or you don't want to crush a lot. But there is something called the immune triad that works brilliantly well, not only for acute illness, but also for teething. And I use this with both of my kids and teething, the first sign of a snotty nose, or they're warm or they're irritable, I would start the calcium, lactate, and Cataplex F. And a lot of the symptoms would dissipate. So for acute illness, teething, fever, uh, Cataplex F, calcium lactate, and Cataplex C, which is called the immune triad, is brilliant at working to support mom, dad, or kids through an acute illness. You could just all of those except the F is in the Contraplex. So you could just increase the dose of Contraplex. So the chewable Contraplex is 3 tablets is equal to 1 adult dose. So for say you're sick and for instance, you don't have any adult, you could just, take triple the dose, obviously. But Contraplex has vitamin A, vitamin C. It has a thymus extract, has